Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for over a year and 3 months and counting, because that's right, the daily stream streak remains strong. I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next, I'd say 2 hours, maybe 3 if we feel zesty. But before we get into our stream subject followed by some general Q&A, allow me to start with a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, Mamori. Congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Puppet Boy, Sleepless Dragon, Little Shadow One, Amber, Silent Follower, Blue Phantom, Aoki, Gray. A lot of people are talking a lot, so I'm trying to keep up with names. Amber, if I haven't said your name. Gamer77, Senior Researcher Alex. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site-42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns Lyris, Yusavar, DJ, Dog Lover, Malachi. I know, Dog Lover was just said. We're almost there. Bacon Sue, Weather, Froy, Epsilon, Sandy Soda, and Atticus Night Gazer. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually. And thank you for being here today, interns, just for being you. Now, Puppy of Interest 42 very determinedly wants your attention. So please pay attention to this sweetie pumpkin. Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, is here for her start of stream mandated hello, hello. The sweetiest pumpkin at Site-42 is here for your attention, as well as your chat mandated treat. Delicious treaties for the babies. That's a good sweetie pumpkin. Also, please give proper good vibes and energy to Nico, Desk's husky puppy, who went to the vet today. Hopefully, all is as well as can be for our said Site-42 pupperinos. And now that my allergy check is complete, allow me to remind you that today's stream is sponsored. Today's stream is sponsored by the Send Dr. Sherman to Open Source Fund. We are currently set for this weekend, starting tomorrow night, for me to attend Open Sauce, a very large YouTube content creator focused convention with lots of tech and roboticists, YouTubers, but with ancillary YouTube guests from the greater sphere of YouTube, including video essays, gaming, film, and other various and sundry fields. Which means this is a great opportunity for us to show up and make the SCP Foundation more known to the greater YouTube community. And so, our mission is to get me to this convention. of which we have already succeeded. It also costs me way, way too much money. And so the sponsorship opportunity here is, if you happen to have any excess money to throw around this month and you want to donate it to Site-42 to help me cover the insane ticket and other costs involved with going to this convention, such as skipping a week of work and etc., I would appreciate your generosity. I will be doing my best to interface, network, essentially be our diplomatic envoy of the community, make sure that people know the SCP Foundation exists, make sure SCP YouTube and Twitch and etc. exist, and invite us to these things in the future, so that we do not have to pay exorbitant amounts of money for this kind of thing. So, if you are able to help us out on this front, thank you for your generosity. For those of you raiding from Radiger, hello, Radiger Raid. And hello throughout the distance to Radiger. Will you stream during the conventions, and who will be holding the camera if not you? Journey of Games. Based on the amount of time I will need to be at this convention, I will be streaming from the fairgrounds. Now, I cannot guarantee that I will be able to stream for long. There will be a lot going on. I cannot guarantee that there will be very good reception. These will be particularly iffy streams. But the daily stream streak will remain strong, and maybe I'll be able to show you something very cool from the convention. They have very interesting robotics exhibits at this convention. Hopefully, I will be able to show you something. Amber, correct. Since this is the last possible day to do something like this before the convention, whoever donates the highest singular donation to today's stream gets to pick the credit song that I sing at the end of every stream. That is up to whoever gives the highest singular super chat or Ko-Fi donation. What will happen to Fan Art Friday during it? Will we still get it? Silent Follower, thank you for reminding me of that. I have been completely forgetting that, and the answer is no. Fan Art Friday will be delayed a week because I will not be able to access Fan Art Friday from the convention fairgrounds. So, there will be a delayed Fan Art Friday, unfortunately, but those fan arts will not be missed. They will just be pushed back a week. While I don't normally interrupt my stream subject for this, let me answer this because it's kind of a serious topic. Gray, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Please grab yourself a plate of chicken wings on your way past the commissary. And do you use or promote AI Doc? It depends on the AI you are talking about. If it is the anomalous artificial intelligences that are used by the Foundation, the AICs, the artificial intelligence constructs that we use to contain anomalies, then sure. If it's Gen AI making art in the real world, then no. We are, in fact, artists in the SCP community. We don't want our hobby and our enjoyable task of making art being taken by robots. I honestly don't know how you made it this far into our streams without knowing that. The SCP Foundation is extremely anti-AI, and I say this rather often. I'm a little confused. But that is your answer, yes. And by the way, if you look at the pinned link in the Site-42 chat that says beacons.ai/Site-42, that's just a website ending. It's not AI in any sense of the word. It's just like a link tree, but it's a different link tree. Okay, now I will finish my stream subjects before I get on to donos properly. Now, first and foremost, today's stream subject is brought on by a little conversation that's happening on SCP Twitter. Someone who should not be approached or attacked in any sense of the word. They were sharing an honest and fair opinion that I piggybacked off of. Let's not be rude. shared the following statement. And remember, I am saying someone else's statement. I do not agree with this next statement. I am just saying it so we can talk about it. Borrowing the shared creative framework of the SCP Foundation, and then, when it comes time for commercialization, pulling shit like, this is similar but not the Foundation lol. I fucking hate Quantum Bro's attitude, to put it mildly, so in that timeline, we'll just say it misses out on the benefits of KBV's proposal for indeterminacy of the Foundation. I don't know what this lore is they're doing at the end, but what they are saying is they are mad at SCP author Quantum for filing the serial numbers off of There Is No Anti-Memetics Division to secure a book deal so that they could sell their book. And of course, I had to respond to this as one of the foremost people trying to get SCP movies made, at least off-site. You've got to remember, right now, we live in a capitalist system, which means the people with the money, the people in charge of the studios, gatekeep a lot of what can happen. Now, Quantum self-published There Is No Anti-Memetics Division. It did pretty well for a self-published work. But that is nowhere near as prominent as that story could have been if it had the proper backing or advertising and budget of a big publishing house. And so, the painful fact that Quantum had to file the serial numbers off of the story to get it made, I do not fault Quantum for that, because unfortunately there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, and while we are all restrained by these capitalist systems, what are we going to do? Not make our stories? Not make money off our stories how we can? And so to quote what I said to this tweet verbatim, because capitalists are so anti-Creative Commons, I am fine when SCP authors and or artists file their serial numbers off to get a bag. Call SCP a creative incubator to improve your craft before moving on to the big leagues. Now, when non-SCP folk take our stuff to do the same, that's a side-eye. And then continuing the thread. Of course, I would love it if said capitalists would experiment with alternative cash flow options to make the Creative Commons work monetarily so that we can have honest big-budget SCP projects, but that's a conversation once somebody is ready to take that gamble. Furthermore, addendum. Obviously, don't hate on the OP, I'm not doing that. I'm just providing alternate viewpoints because emotions can be tense, and when you feel like someone has, quote, betrayed the community, that resentment is a rough feeling. Lashing out in anger, try not to do that in your own life. Try to be better, but it's an understandable thing. Addendum 2, even when non-SCP community members file off the serial numbers, that doesn't mean I'm always going to be angry about it. Because think about the game Control. It's a great game, but their legal department basically said, no, you can't even thank the SCP community in your credits, because that would be too close of a link of inspiration to get us sued. And so the system screwed Control from being an SCP game, or even for thanking us for it. So, we are in a big bullshit situation with this whole capitalist, anti-Creative Commons, anti-sharing thing. And son of a gun, that is just what we have to deal with right now. That is why, at this point, I am still, what's the phrase I'm looking for, holding out hope and examining the ties between the UAE and the VHS team for their upcoming VHS SCP movie. Because saying it's blood money is could be accurate, could be true, could be a little bit simplistic. When I saw that they funded, in some part, DC's Injustice game, the giant Mortal Kombat DC game, or the Predator movie Prey, the one with the indigenous people that was very cool and everyone really loved that movie, they've made enough projects and Hollywood's tied in enough that we've got to consider No ethical consumption under capitalism. What is selling our soul to get the bag in this scenario? How far does it go? Our ethical scales are still being balanced in this scenario. I have not fallen on either side of the argument yet. I'm still doing my research. But suffice it to say, there's a lot going on when it comes to trying to make a living as an artist when you are extra hamstrung by the Creative Commons. And we should be able to understand that, hey, if you want to make a living from your art, there are sacrifices that need to be made. There are limitations that need to be made. There are ethical considerations. It would be very nice if we could be very communist and sharing is caring, but that's not going to work in our current system. So, let's keep cooler heads as we examine these scenarios. I try to my best to be as ethical as possible, but even I have to balance scales of doing something that's slightly unethical for the greater good. So does the SCP Foundation have to do terrible things for the greater good. So yes, just, it's not always as black and white as first instincts. That is the moral of step 1 of today's conversation. Step 2. Of our stream subject, before I do general Q&A. Today, we were supposed to read the end of SCP-9344. We were reading this very long article on stream, and we got about halfway through it, and since today is the last full day of stream we can have, since starting tomorrow I have to worry about getting things ready for open sauce, I wanted to get this done. I did. However, when I pulled up SCP-9344 today, SCP-9344 has been deleted. It is gone from the database. Now, it was at a positive 30-something ranking, which means that it was not deleted by staff. I did a little social media search throughout the SCP community, and I found discussion in 19 Cord that the author themselves has self-deleted this article because, quote, while they were happy with the work they put into it, they were not happy with the result. They were lying to themselves and to the public saying they were proud of the result. Because, you know, you write this whole long thing and then you submit it for a contest and now it's on the wiki. And now, furthermore, they saw it featured on the front page of the wiki by another SCP author who was on staff. It was the reviewer's feature, and they felt so ashamed that it was reviewer featured that they deleted it. And so, the author is currently rewriting the article. To quote them in the conversation, I was going to rewrite it, but if you insist on reading it, the draft can be found in their sandbox. It's extremely long and not an SCP, though. Keep that in mind. So it seems like whatever they're doing with this rewrite, it will not be classified an SCP. It will be switched to a tale at that point. Furthermore, I just want to bring up to you, since I am not going to read the rest of this article. Now, what I will do for you is you can go to the Wayback Machine, the Internet Wayback Machine, and look up SCP-9344 to find the archive and read the rest of it. It is on the Internet Wayback Machine, so you can go to SCP-9344 on the Wayback Machine if you really want to see the end of it. But I will not be reading it in response for the... I will not be reading it on stream in respect of the authors not wanting it to be on the wiki anymore in this case. I do want to make one small note that... What's the phrase I'm looking for? A quick reminder to the SCP community that once you release something Creative Commons, that cannot be rescinded. It is important to remember that when you put something on the SCP database, you can delete the article, but if an archive exists, it is still Creative Commons released. It can still be used within the license. That is very important to remember. So keep that in mind for future iterations. Alright, I'm currently refreshing the chat. It is having some sort of glitch. Intern DJ, I understand you are feeling some sort of way right now, and Desk is informed me of this. I second Desk that if you want to speak to this in some sort of situation, I recommend doing so through an email. Character limits on YouTube are not going to successfully allow this conversation to take place, nor do I think that a live stream is the venue for such things. And with that, I'm going to get caught up on the donations, and we will have general Q&A for the next 90 minutes approximately. I thought we were going to have a long reading, but it turns out we will not be having that. My plans have been thwarted by the deletions of the SCP authorship. The self-deletions, in fact. So, let's see what we've got going on today. Starting with the Ko-Fi notification, so I don't forget it exists. Amber, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which, as we know, only takes 3% of your donation instead of a YouTube Super Chat, which takes 30% of your donation for YouTube, and it also, if you're on an iPhone, Apple gets 30% of your donation. So, your donation goes much farther if you go to Ko-Fi. We appreciate this. Got paid just in time. Hopefully someone outbids me. Okay, here it goes again. Alright, Desk. The credit song is... The credit song request of the moment is Here It Goes Again by OK Go. Amber with $42 at the donation, a very good and appropriate number. We thank you for your generosity towards the Open Sauce Fund. Please grab yourself some roast duck on your way past the commissary. Epsilon 11, thank you for sending a high five to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they appreciate a crisp high five. Beast Lifes, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They are now a 2-star team due to your ranking. Aoki, thank you for sending a star to make them a 3-star team. Then Gray sent 7 stars, bringing you to a 5-star team with a prestige rank. Congratulations, chat. Screaming into the Void, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a carameled apple on your way past the commissary. I don't have much to spare, but I want to support another SCP content creator. SCP fam will survive. Thank you for your generosity. Hopefully, your SCP arts are also going well. Gray, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. Right here. Senior researcher, sorry, Gray. You said, I know, lol, I just wanted you to say it. I see, okay. You were making sure the anti-AI stance of the SCP Foundation and myself was spread. That is a worthy propaganda goal. I approve. Jumping ahead, because Philip November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as it being an exceptionally generous first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Please make your way, not to the commissary, but I want you to instead go to the 7th floor East Wing Gymnasium. There, you will find, behind the off-brand Dr. Pepper vending machine. We can't have proper suppliers here, so everything we have is off-brand. It's kind of terrible in that manner. I mean, we've got the formula as close as we can. The Foundation does its best. But that vending machine, behind it you will find an unassuming gray water bottle. That water bottle hides a perfected version of, I believe it's SCP-207. Yes, SCP-207. It is the extra caffeinated Coca-Cola. Now, normally, drinking this gives you a massive amount of energy followed by death. This just causes you to not need sleep for 7 days, at which point you can go to bed as normal, no side effects. And so, please enjoy the extra time that you are now available for. I hope that your research projects in the interim go very well. And thank you again for your generosity. So I just found out there's an actual clinical name for not being able to sleep at night and just eat instead. Pause for dramatic effect. It's called insomnomnomnomnia. Okay. Thank you for your intense generosity in the interest of dropping an intense dad joke on me. Pretty good. Pretty good. Senior Researcher Alex, thank you for your... Oh, yes. And now, Philip November, you are currently the #1 ranked Super Chat donation of the day, Super Chat or Ko-Fi, which means you have current song choice. Or you can defer to Amber's song choice. That is up to you, Philip November. Now, as I go make sure that I put up this so I have it saved for later. Very good. Senior Researcher Alex, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Please grab yourself a tofurkey sandwich on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, can we watch the SCP anime on stream when it comes out, please? Well, seeing that it will be a 20-minute short film, But I do have 2 years to get ready. Meaning I should be able to have our tech set up to a point where we can stream and watch the episode. So I should think that's an acceptable thing. I give no guarantees, but I say probably yes. Zian Potato Z, thank you for sending 3 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. You have guaranteed them a new prestige rank and reset them to a 3-star team. Yo, Dr. Sherman, the donut video has become an inside joke in the confinement team. I thought you deserved to know this. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Give me until the end of summer, and I will be in such Foundation Fitness Initiative shape, we will film the donut sequel. That is a lie. That will not happen. I was joking. That is a joke for funny ha-has. You cannot hold me to this joke. It is for japes, hijinks, not seriousness. Philip November, what do you mean by I want to hear you sing out Clef's song? What? What is Clef's song? I'm now horrified. What does that mean, Philip November? What does that mean? Pimp Demon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a stroop waffle on your way past the commissary. I just showed SCP-72... It's okay, I'll get it. Night! Dash J. Yeah, okay, we're in the same boat on that, buddy. To a Time Lord, they regenerated at least 3 times. Well, that makes sense. I would want to get that abomination off me as much as possible. Shedding 3 layers of skin sounds like a start. Isn't there a song about Clef running over a child? Oh! Oh, okay. I have to go back in the tweets for this one. You're doing my Clef song. It's a parody of Bergen Truckin'. So I gotta go to Twitter to get the lyrics for this. So I gotta search myself. So, for Philip November's song choice, for those who are unreferenced, a while ago, back in May, I asked Twitter for a parody piece of art of the Asgore evil smile going to hit December holiday with his truck as Dr. Alto Clef. And artist Doofamet on Twitter just made it way too good. The Clefosity is off the charts. But then I also wrote the hitting December holiday with my truck Clef song. And so, as bored as hell in Philip November saying, it's so much better when you remember that Clef does mention running over a child in one of his tales, because the child was a reality bender. So this is canon event right here. This is canon event. And so yes, that is now the current credit song unless someone outbids Philip November. And remember, you can still outbid Philip November, but then defer to Philip November's frankly genius idea if you wish to. Alright, and I am dropping this for desk for later use. And I'm setting that back to the song choice zone for later. Zephram, thank you for sending a star and 2 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They are proud to be a 4-star team. Almost a 5-star chat again. 100 stars, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll keep it 100 at your urging. Intern Xavier, genuinely thank you for all the work you have done over the years. I got an SCP around 2012, and your videos are very helpful and inclusive for people who want to learn more about SCP. Happy to help with that to the best of my ability. We're doing our best in these SCP streets. I am glad you appreciate our work. Keep enjoying the SCP Foundation, both in and outside the Site-42-averse. Did Dr. Sumerian see any of the fan art from last week? There was a lot dedicated to him. I do believe Desk was going to show Dr. Sumerian the Sumerian fan art, but we will wait for Desk to respond to that. Desk. The song you are looking for is Asgore Bergentruckung. I will just drop this search in your Discord. No, that didn't work. Now you gotta find the one that I'm just gonna find the actual one. Hit Des. There we go. This is the actual song so that Desk has it, because I believe Desk is going to make a Clef version. Desk also informs me in the back channels that Dr. Sumerian did see the fanarts, and according to Desk, enjoyed the arts very much so. Congratulations, Sumerian fan artists. Zephram, thank you for sending an Argentina and a France to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will take those countries into useful use. Philip November, thank you for sending a star to the chat to make them a 5-star team. A 5-star team for the time being. I've glossed over the Dr. Sherman file on the SCP Wiki, and other than the nickname, I can't find any files on the Shermanator. Why? Well, that is a deeply classified part of my work history that I do not like talking about. But, that being said, if people were to make up lore about how I received that nickname and put it on the SCP database, as long as it was part of a well-critiqued tale that deserved to be on the wiki, I would find that entertaining. Remember, you are allowed to write about Dr. Sherman in your stories and write stories about Dr. Sherman. Creative Commons allows for that. You are not allowed to vandalize the SCP Wiki by changing things in already existing stories to Dr. Sherman. That would be bad. Please do not vandalize the wiki, but you can use Dr. Sherman in good wiki stories if you want. Intern Ike, thank you for sending 5 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They now have another prestige rank and are still a 5-star team. Very nice. Dear Dr. Sherman, I've been getting back into SCP as of late. You're one of my favorite SCP YouTubers. Well, intern Crazy Cats, I am happy to hear you appreciate our work. We are doing our best to spread the good word of the SCP Foundation to those who would appreciate it. I also agree with LARP Site 42 and whoever said that above, Alien Mint. I do not like the fact that LARPing is being used as a term the way it is. Obviously, cultural language norms change with use, but I do not appreciate the shame upon live-action role players who genuinely enjoy the thing they are doing, having their word shown with posers and fake fans. Because LARPers are the opposite of fake fans. LARPers are the most hardcore of fans. Not that I would know anything about that. How would Dr. Sherman look with green hair? Journey of Games. That was the last hair coloration. You can go back a couple months to see it. I think the green dye job was April 1st, so any stream after that will be the most colorful iteration of it. The original SCP YouTuber that got me into the fandom was Miss Shadow Lovely. Anyone remember them? Intern Xavier, I actually don't remember, or even have never heard of, Miss Shadow Lovely. The SCP Foundation is a vast universe, and that is someone I've never heard of. Hope they make good stuff. Does that thing have an anomalous ability that makes people overly hate it because it doesn't seem to be dangerous or anything? Intern Jax, have you read its document in full? Have you read the testing logs? Have you seen what it did to SCP-682? No, you haven't, because it was expunged from the log for being too terrible! Ugh. I can't read the wiki, Dr. Sherman, I'm sorry. Am I to assume that you are a youth and you are properly, ethically not going to the website because it's for 18 and up people? If that's the case, then I would commend you for that. If not, I would be curious as to why you cannot read the wiki. What song is in the background right now? It sounds snazzy. Alien Mint, the current song in the background, the snazzy song, was called Graveyard Shift by Slowgramming, by friend of the channel and SCP author Billith. You are looking for Graveyard Shift by Slowgramming on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Pimp Demon, thank you for donating again to say, if you put that in the Clockwork Machine on Very Fine, does it become better for us or better for itself, aka worse for us? I doubt we would ever try such a horrifying experiment. I doubt we would risk making that thing any more powerful than it already is. But if I brave the SCP database and search for that abomination, Even my hands feel dirty typing it. That thing is mentioned on the SCP database a total of 115 times. Now I'm trying to find if it's ever mentioned with that abomination. Or if it's mentioned with 914, I mean. I am reading documentation here that says that 914 refused to activate with that thing in the booth. But I don't know if that is fan fiction from offsite or if it's actually on the database. I'm still researching. That's the problem with this freaking 914. I hate that it has so many pages of logs. It's damn near impossible to search. I'm taking that previous answer as canon. I know 914 wouldn't F with that thing, because no one wants to F with that thing. Intern DJ, you're saying it's in Bat Abominations document. Very good. I'm glad we've confirmed its accuracy. Also, gross. Intern Atticus, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a peach cobbler on your way past the commissary. I'm not able to donate more. Hiding from you guys is rather draining. I mean, I'm gotta go now. Gotta switch locations again. Enjoy your event, Doctor. Well, Intern Atticus, thank you for your cryptic hiding from the Foundation despite working for us mode. This is a weird situation you found yourself in. Reminder, these streams only go to Foundation employees. I guess they go to certain SCPs that have cellular devices, but that's still within the Foundation's network. I'm not sure how you would have one of our devices if you're not part of the Foundation. I'll have to have security look into that. Zephram, thank you for sending 5 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they are proud to be a 5-star team yet again with yet another prestige rank. Intern Grant, thank you for sending them 2 chilies. I'm sure they enjoy 2 hot chip snacks. Rune, thank you for your 5 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. The Gamers Against Weed is peak. We need more tales about them. Well, considering the amount of trouble they give us with trolley meme anomalies, I have to disagree. More tales means more things that are needing to be contained. I disagree completely. As entertaining as they are, it's too much work. Rocky, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. They are now a 1-star team, with another prestige rank at the very least. Zan Potato Z, thank you for sending a makeup brush to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they will keep it cute and savage. The sun outside is actually a bright reddish orange. That's fun, lol. Yes, there are currently some so-called non-anomalous fires spreading across the northern United States and southern Canada, apparently. It definitely has nothing to do with a breach of SCP-457. Don't even think it. That didn't happen. Is Dr. Sherman self-aware, or is the stuff you say in character that would allude to such just joking? I mean, wacky clown, we're all fictional in some layer of reality thanks to the research of pataphysics. We know that we're fictional, the people above us, and we know that people in the layers below us are fictional to us. But then the people above us are fictional to the people above them. It's enough to make you go cross-eyed, but I do believe comic artist House of Decline recently illustrated the conundrum quite clearly. I can bring you this piece of art from House of Decline. I'm glad we're on the top layer of this infinite recursion. Yeah, that means we're the original versions of the guys in the picture. I'm glad we're the top layer of this infinite recursion. Yeah, that means we're the original versions of the guys in this picture. I'm glad we're the top layer of this infinite recursion. Yeah, that means we're the original versions of the guy in the picture. I'm glad we're the top layer of this infinite recursion. Yeah, that means we're the original versions of the guy in the picture. So yes, we are as real as any of them. I mean, a lot of people just don't want to look into pataphysics because it's existentially horrifying. But, you know, you learn to deal with it. Are there any good video guides on writing SCPs that you recommend, or does the wiki have a good guide for all the do's and don'ts? Intern Xavier, we have a lot of interesting guides on the SCP database. I will introduce you first and foremost to the SCP Wiki's front page. And when you come here, you want to check out the Resources tab. It has guides, essays, and resources. The guides, obviously, if you come in here, you're going to find all sorts of guides on how to handle the website, staff information, site policies, licensing, tagging, community navigation, including the How to Contribute guide for learning how to add pages to the website when you're ready, writing guides for writing your SCPs, all sorts of interesting stuff to find there. There is, of course, the standard How to Write an SCP guide on the SCP database. There are a lot of great guides on the SCP database. I wouldn't say there's a great video guide unless you go to our video on the channel, SCP Writing Tips from SCP Writers, which has some small snippet tips here and there. I would also suggest the works of SCP YouTuber Radiger. Radiger has several videos about the process of writing SCPs and getting good at writing SCPs that I would look into. Intern Genor, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Please grab yourself some fried mozzarella on your way past the commissary. Yo, I got redirected to the stream when I called emergency services. They said they can't help me with the plague doctor at my door. Okay, did it happen to mention you being infected with any pestilence by chance? That is going to gauge your chances of us reaching you before you are a zombie. Zephram, thank you for sending 7 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. You've granted them a prestige rank and made them a 3-star team for the time being. Philip November, you sent them 4 stars, giving them prestige rank, but bringing them down to a 2-star team. Time check, Site-42 staff. We are looking at 30 to 90 minutes of today's stream remaining. 30 to 90 minutes. Love your hair. Well, thank you very much, Intern Chicken. Our on-site stylist does good work. Also, if you happen to be at Open Sauce Convention this weekend in San Mateo, California, I will be present for all 3 days of the convention, and although I will be incognito, I will not be wearing my standard Foundation uniform, you will have the very clear tall guy with pink hair as a good spotter, so I shouldn't be terribly hard to find. Dr. Sherman, how often do you check comments? I try to leave something relevant and interesting on each short, and even got top, but I never see you. If because you're busy, I understand you're missing out. Very often, I open YouTube Studio maybe once a day and peek at it, but I scroll the comments very little. There's so many videos and so many comments now, it's hard to keep track of everything. I used to answer a lot more of them, but it's just a shame, as is said by many big creators. The larger you get, the harder it is to keep tabs on everything. So, unfortunately, I don't do as many. I'm nearby, but I'm too broke to get in. RIP. Wacky Clown, I didn't realize you were local. Interesting. When I'm talking about future SCP community-based projects in the San Francisco Bay Area, make sure you're paying attention. There might be a meetup in the near future. An SCP San Francisco Bay Area meetup. I want to try to get to know the local community when it comes to who I could work with on future filmic projects. Phil November, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. But how does it get styled and stay so well? What type of gel does he use? Journey of Games. This is not sponsored, but I use a very particular kind of styling cray. It is called, let me find the right product. This is not sponsored, but Kevin Murphy Knight Rider Maximum Control Textural Paste. It is a matte styling clay that I got one time at a hairstylist and never turned back. Depending on where you purchase it, you can find it for between $14 and $35. It's got a very nice smell. It's got a very good hold. You only need to use a dollop about the size of a dime for hair about my length. Hypothetically, if someone were to pretend to be Site-42 or Dr. Sherman, would you have any tips on how to best do that? LARP Site-42, you're actually going to have a much better scenario by asking people who aren't me. Because I am me, the things I do to me are normal. I don't stand out to myself with particular tics or habits because they are my tics or habits. You would be much better off asking a group of your fellow Site-42 fam what the particular mannerisms that are unique to me would be. V-Dubs, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary. If cryptids were in the SCP universe, would they not be known by the general public, or would it be like now where everyone knows they're not real? Well, disinformation campaigns keep them to being rumors at best. Obviously, rumors of cryptids happens here and there, but to the point where we can keep it hidden that they're real and just keep the only people talking about them conspiracy nuts. That's about the best way to do it. But remember, Bigfoot is SCP-1000. Mothman is an SCP. There's a lot of cryptid SCPs. Marshall Carter and Dark was selling miniature Loch Ness monsters, so we've got plenty of cryptids on the SCP Foundation. I've actually been answering a lot of the questions in the comments for you since I know you won't answer, especially the redundant ones and those that should be obvious. That can be a very useful service, DJ. Just be careful not to tax yourself too much. After all, I already learned that we have so many comments and so many videos that it's impossible to keep up with. Do not stress yourself out, especially at this behest. You already do a lot of work here in the chat. Make sure you are doing what you do for what you like. Do not feel like you have to. I guess that's what I'm saying. Do it if it's fun. This is an arts community. Sharing lore can be very fun. Just don't overtax yourself. Whoa, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself some popped rocks on your way past the commissary. And you didn't send a message with your donation, so simply thank you for your generosity. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say. Does the Horizon Initiative know we contain SCP-343? Do they actually believe it's God, or do they think it's a poser? I do not know if the Horizon Initiative has any intel on 343. Furthermore, I really wouldn't overly care of their opinion. But let me run a quick database search and see what I find. As soon as my browser stops freaking out. At least from Heroes Wiki, they are stating it is unknown if the Horizon Initiative is aware of the Gate Guardian, Cain, Abel, or 343. That is claimed by the Heroes Wiki. And hello, puppy of interest. I am busy right now. And yet this is when you want attention. I have found no evidence that they have crossed over myself at this time. If anyone has any more intel from the database, I would of course be interested. Returning to chat. Puppy Versus 42, codename Charlie. The Containment Hazard Assessment Team is very excited to see you. Are you happy that you are being held? It's a happy baby. And, you know, one more tiny treat won't hurt. Sweetiest pumpkin at Psi 42. Baby girl. Be free, little one. Reminder, Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, is Charlie without an E and a heart over the I, or after the I if you're on a texting platform, and is a she, not a he. Black Leather, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please get yourself a black coffee on your way past the commissary in return for your generosity. The director of our confinement reboot unironically likes 343 inversions where he is a god. Almost made me quit on the spot. /J. Yeah, these people can be rather deluded when it comes to 343, but again, a reality bender with delusions of grandeur, it's hard not to buy into it. You gotta think pretty hard about it. Black Leather, thank you for donating again. Intern Alien Mint, I do not believe there's an actual way to put a heart over the I on a texting platform unless it's a specialized font. Instead, what people do is they put a heart emote after the I in Charlie, or they use some of the I's with little different dots, like from different languages, and they do the best they can do for that. Get your cup of roasted coffee, your morning cup of Joey, your jamming cup of Java, mocha latte with the froth for you, Jack. I guess T-Rose is offering. Please enjoy yourself some delightful coffee. I don't need the money anymore, so it's yours, love you, man. Hey, Black Leather. I'm just warning you. Though when people say I don't need the money anymore, that also puts up red flags in people who are empathetic that you might be trying to do something negative to yourself. Please do not do something negative to yourself. This is a place for joy and success and victory and uplifting each other. Be good to yourself. Dr. Sherman, good to be back. I live in Ireland, so you're often late for me. Ah, yes, the across the pond time zone switch. I understand that. What do you think of some of my SCP-3002 and SCP-5002? Off the top of my head, I don't know those anomalies, but I can check on those. I also want to say I appreciate you for 11 years. I started when I was 8. I'm 19. Oh, boy. You have been here from the start, then. And also, oh, man. Children are becoming adults. Time is marching on. The world never stops. Uh, 3002, 5002, I'm not familiar with either of those. Let's have a good look. 3002. A codename attempts to assassinate Thought. A specific memory shared by 85% of the prisoner population of South Rock Penitentiary, located near Lafayette, Indiana. Affected inmates are all able to recall a specific day from their childhood. Specific dates vary between subjects, but the majority remember this day occurring sometime between the ages of 10 to 13. Playing through a field or a forest. Alright, so everyone has the same memory. That's weird. And there's a further iteration, so this one's going to take a minute, but it seems to be a very highly rated article, so apparently people like SCP-3002. Give it a look. See what you think. And then 5002. A death in containment. Well, that's not good. We can't study anomalies if they are neutralized. An investigation of the death of SCP-5002 is ongoing. Further information in relation to 5002, including records of the investigation, are available only to personnel with appropriate clearance. Do you think it's a murder mystery? Sounds like a murder mystery. Was a type green reality-bending humanoid known as Emma Hastings. According to United Kingdom government records, born in 78, raised in Tewkesbury, England, self-employed as an author of detective fiction. Yay! Murder mystery. A reality bender murder mystery. Okay, I'm gonna have to read that later. Thank you for drawing my attention there. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say, what's the deal with Site 13, or was it Site 5? I don't remember which one is the remember site number thing. I don't remember a remember site number off the top of my head. What happened to Site 13 is SCP-1730. That was a big disaster. What happened to Site 13? If there's a remember site number, I don't remember that one. I gotta ask, what made the Foundation make this channel? Don't they want to stay hidden, or do they no longer care because everything got leaked? Intern Obelisk, I see that you are also going under amnestic therapy, so let me be the first to remind you. This YouTube channel is only broadcast to SCP Foundation staff members in most universes. We have a running deal with Google's parent company, Alphabet, to only run this through algorithmic channels of SCP Foundation staff members. Now, there are some rare universes where SCPs are allowed cellular devices. I don't approve of this, but that is what they are allowed to do. Furthermore, certain universes where the Broken Masquerade has taken place and the veil is lifted and everyone knows about anomalies, we do broadcast publicly there as a form of public relations. So most universes, we are still keeping it secret. But you wouldn't know that because you forgot because you encountered trauma and then got amnesticized. It happens. Intern Orchid, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Sherman, if I hypothetically gave my SCP idea and story to a person over 18 and copy-paste and verbatim on the wiki and credit me, is it still void? Yes. Now, sharing an idea with someone, that's not a problem, because they would then be the one writing it. But if you wrote it and then used a secondary person to post it, that would be against site rules, to my knowledge.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Site rules for posting Sock puppeting is, of course, using multiple accounts. That is clearly against the rules. Collaborative posting. All posted works must be written by the user that posts the work unless specifically noted as being a collaboration between one or more site users that are current members of the SCP Wiki at the time of publication. Collaborative works must indicate which site users collaborated in the creation of the article in question. You may not copy any portion of someone else's writing to use it as your own work without proper attribution. This is plagiarism. You may not attempt to pass off another user's article as your own work. Doing so will result in summary deletion of the work. So, yes, that is qualified as plagiarism, and it would be against site rules. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say. In the Broken Masquerade universe, is every group of interest known, or is only the SCP Foundation and maybe the GOC public knowledge? Well, again, there is no canon. The universes are vast and varied. But the largest version of the Broken Masquerade universe is one where the entire country of North Korea was wiped off the map due to an anomalous incident. And so that revealed specifically the Foundation and the groups that were involved in it. I would assume that even if the anomalous were revealed to the world, several groups would prefer to keep a low profile regardless. Let me run something real quick. Nope, go back. There we go. Found it. For you, Journey. Nope, I lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do. All right. Journey of Games. This is the last time I'm going to address this because I'm not going to play around with any more attempts at loopholes for you because I have to keep answering the question the same way. Being under the age of 18, as I have said, is a benefit to your SCP writing, not a fault, because you have time and a younger brain with which to learn to write better. As I said in the past, take writing classes, practice your writing, write stories, do the groundwork now to improve your craft. There are plenty of people who are 40 or 50 who want to write SCPs, but they've never practiced writing in their life. They still write with terrible dialogue, with typos all over the place. You need to improve your craft while you can, and then eventually you'll be ready to write. You don't need to rush it by writing your articles now. And in fact, start writing your articles now, and then improve them over time until you are old enough to post. Stop trying to find loopholes that will end up getting you banned from the site before you even legally join. You saw nothing. Is there a difference between the masquerade and the veil? No, those are two terms used interchangeably for the same thing. The curtain that is keeping normal civilians from knowing about the anomalous. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say. Also, Nilono asked this, but is there a universe where there never was a veil/masquerade? Well, there is Unfounded, which is a universe where the SCP Foundation was never founded. But I don't know about a universe where there was never a masquerade in the first place. That's not a universe I am familiar with, but it could exist on the SCP database. If not, you could write a canon like that. Let me just take a quick peek at the canon hub and see if I find anything that stands out like that. So, as a reminder, the canon hub is a list of canons. Now, while there, quote, is no canon on the SCP database, there are multiple canons where people write stories within certain sets of rules. And so currently, we have 49 active canons with a separate list of unmaintained canons that are not, inactive. Aces and Eights is the Cowboy Canon. Ad Astra per Aspera is Space Canon. No Earth, only Space. Artificial Intelligence Applications Division. Apotheosis. Bellervorce. Black Diamond Billions. Broken Masquerade Classic Edition. But a Dream. Chaos on the Monolith. Coldest War. Competitive Eschatology. Cool War, 2 Reese from Your Grave, and Daybreak, Doctors of the Church, Dread and Circuses, End of Death, Eventer, Fading Stars, Forgotten Memories, The Foundation Alchemy Department from 120's Archives. Gonna cough, the song's gonna end. The Gulf, In Memoria Aditum, Insect Hell, Lampeter, The Man Who Wasn't There, Nightfall, Ninth World, No Return, On Guard 43, Taking a Drink, Help Me Survive, Our Open Veins, Pitch Haven, Rat's Nest, Resurrection, SNC Plastic, Seas of Arcadia, Semiotics, Series 0, Simulacrum, Site 17 Deep Well, Straight On Till Morning, Third Law, Sharkist Timeline, Those Twisted Pines, Unfounded, Unhuman, War on All Fronts, What a Wonderful World, The World Kept Turning, You can also check out the Antarctic Exchange, codename Green King, Old Man in the Sea, LOL Foundation. On Mount Golgotha, the only game in town, Ship in a Bottle, Project Heimdall, and The Trash Fire. Lots of canons with similarly thematicized stories and matching lore. How come some of them have custom titles and blurbs? Loving care from the canon maintainers. They took the effort, they put more effort in on their canon building. There's an SCP in my house, what do I do? Well, intern Olivia, stop spamming my chat, for one. That's not going to help you survive, is it? Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, I can imagine the Broken Masquerade universes, the UI useless is laughed out of existence. Well, I mean, they're probably still being used, because they're still anomalies to do things with, and they are part of the United States government. That's pretty sturdy, despite all the terrible things SCP-5004-B is doing to it right now. Studio Spider, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Gross. Grab yourself some flies, I guess. It's nothing personal. I just don't like spiders. So, yeah, just you stay over there with your donation. Thank you. Has the Foundation ever asked SCP-249, the coffee machine, it's 294, you transpose those digits, for a cup of the pestilence? Seems like it would make communication with 049 easier. Funny story. Out of range. No response. Puppy of interest 42. Want some more attention. Why are you so needy for belly rubs? Oh, wait. Almost forgot you can have a tiny little shred of this half-treat. But only if you get very tall. Oh, very tall, baby. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Yes, crumbs. Eat and leave no crumbs. I'm just washing my hand for my allergies before I return you to your tripod. Oh no, she has a misty eye. Yes, Alien Mint, when she was found in the streets, she had one eye that is completely blind and one that is at 80%-ish visual. So she can see, but that one eye is bad. Best Jester, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. They are now a 4-star chat. A 4-star chat. Gamer77, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Please grab yourself a hot cocoa on your way past the commissary. Can you say today's date? Today's date. Is it July 15th today?
Yeah.
It is July 15th, 2026. Is that acceptable? Doctor, I really appreciate you. When I was younger, I had some difficult things. I came across a video of you, brought me to the community. I was so welcoming. Thank you so much to all my family. Well, Ethics Committee 63-8. I'm glad you were able to utilize a friendly online community to make your life improved. Sometimes we are unable to find people of like interest in person, and the internet is a useful tool for that. I'm glad we were able to facilitate this on your behalf. It's my birthday. I'm 38 now. Well, intern Ike, happy 38th birthday to you. Thank you. It's so when I watch the video a few months behind, when I get to it, I'll know how behind I am. Oh boy. I hope you're watching at like 3 times speed. Get caught up. These streams can get a little long. Dr. Sherman, you're going to hate this. Fun fact, SCP-6600 is the closest thing to Spider Moon in canon. I recommend the SCP Explained Wikidot for the short version. Spider Moon, I don't like this. I am, in fact, not a fan of that. SCP Explained Wikidot. Series 7. Codename SpiderCon. Well, that's terrible. A diplomatic union has been made with SCP-6600, a facility of intelligent spiders that were transported to the moon of our reality after their timeline collapsed. Cool. Just a facility of spiders. I am never going to be the diplomatic envoy to the spider facility. Not on your life. Now you can have me as our diplomatic envoy to Open Sauce, the convention I'm going to this weekend to meet up with YouTube Corporate and a bunch of YouTubers and try to increase the efficacy of the SCP Foundation community on YouTube. Networking, knowledge sharing, getting film and game people to be interested in SCP. But, that is this weekend, not Spider Facility. I'm not going to be the diplomatic envoy to the Spider Facility. That would be bad. Please help me 8096 today. Intern Bros. Who is Please Help Me, and why are you accusing them of eating SCP-096? That is a peculiar accusation to make. I don't think Intern Please Help Me would appreciate such spurious accusations. Northern Glacier Corporation, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Please grab yourself a grilled ches on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I'll be taking a vacation. I'm leaving Aurora with you till I get back. Good luck, Dr. Sherman. Hey, wait a minute. I did not sign up for any babysitting duties. I'm busy this week. I got things to do. Shakes to hand. Or something like that. Find a better babysitter, okay? So, not to bring up drama, but I see over the course of the last few days, several people have brought this up in chat, and I have not spoken on it, and I don't want to make a big deal of it, and I don't want to be angry at anybody. I'm not going to be angry, and I'm not angry at anybody, and I don't want you guys to be angry at anybody or making drama, okay? No being angry and making drama. That's the rule if I'm going to talk about this. Be cool. Be cool. So, Froy and Dr. Frogman have been informing me of the newest Andrea Joshua Asnikar project, a series of short analog horror things. I had a meeting with Andrea Joshua Asnikar just earlier last week because we were going to talk about his upcoming project. I was hinting to you guys that it was coming up. I wasn't going to talk about it because it was going to be a surprise. And then Andrea made an teensy little mistake. And when one scene in his film that he could just not get the edit right on, he used an Adobe plugin. It might not be Adobe. It might be just whatever editing app he uses. I'm just saying Adobe because that's the editing app I think of. Not sponsored. The Adobe app had an AI feature to make scene transitions. And for a transition in one of the settings, he used an AI transition apparently. And despite the several $1,000s he put into it, the several living people, he made the whole thing except for this one little tweak. But he then talked about it in our SCP, and he was honest on the subreddit. And he got in such a huge fight that he is now banned from the Reddit for SCP. And so, as much as I love the guy in his films, he put himself on the wrong side of the tracks of this. Froy, I thought it was you telling me about the analog series earlier, but what's the phrase I'm looking for? I thought it was you telling me about it, but something else. So yes, I still love Andrea to death. I don't like AI still, and Andrea doesn't like AI either, and just use this as a I don't have any more money for this project thing. And so a bunch of people jumped down his throat on Reddit, and then he got angry and argued with them, and it became a whole thing. And so it was mutually agreed between me and Andrea that I'm not going to touch that, because that's not our ethos here for AI in the SCP community. Even if it is the tiniest bit, we're trying to stamp that out completely. Andrea is still a conventional filmmaker who will be making conventional films, but is at least putting out this project to whoever will see it and appreciate it organically for what it is, and then in the future will not do that. So yes, I am not touching that particular project because of the drama stew around it. Let's not continue to stew the drama. He already feels bad enough about the whole situation. But we do not need to... I mean, sure, like, don't start fights with people over it. You're an adult and should act like one. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Alien Mint. It's not starting fights if you're defending yourself. And it's not as black and white as that when you are, even as a content creator, still a human being, and you're having a bunch of people yell at you. The way you treat people online is very in line with how you treat people in person. A lot of people don't seem to get this. They seem to think if it's online, it doesn't matter. But this is real life. I am talking to you all. Now, I'm talking to you as a representation of a character pataphysical levels involved. But I'm still communicating with you in a way where feelings can be hurt, where things can happen. This is something we should be cognizant of in general. And some people, when they get mad, they decide they're just going to full-on attack as if the other person's feelings don't matter. I do not fault Andrea for being mad and being on the back foot and getting mad back, because when you are called a bunch of names and rude and discounted and all this, when you put in 99% work and you made a 1% compromise, yeah, I would be mad about the 99% that I did do, even if the other person is only focusing on the 1%. So, it's not a great situation. I am not messing with it. That's all. Andrea's still cool with me. I'm sure future films, he will smartly avoid this problem in the future. Alright, let me catch up on the donos that came in during that. Intern Avis, or no, Researcher Avis, sorry. Researcher Avis Dryad, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Please grab yourself a frittata on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I got promoted to researcher today. I also severely dislike spiders. Wise choice. There's a problem as I work in the Foundation's Nature Thaumaturgy division. Sorry for any improper spelling. So I believe if thaumaturgy is T-H-A-U-M-A-T-U-R-G-Y? Thaumaturgy, yes. But regardless, I guess yes. Thankfully, you know, nature's pretty big. Spiders are only going to be a minor part of that, I hope, for you. I mean, spiders show up a bunch. Best of luck on that one. Northern Glacier Corporation, thank you for donating again. O5 Council said it was acceptable to leave her with you. Orders are orders, you know. See, Dr. Sherman will be back in 2 weeks. I'm not going to be here for the next 3 days. The O5 Council's lied to you. And if they want to shove this on my desk, they're going to have to take it up with Steve, who is going to be here while I'm absent. Steve, looks like you are watching over a child deity. Yeah, another one. I don't care if you're already dealing with 4 of them. Sounds like you're getting a 5th, because I'm out. I am going to be here for half day tomorrow, and then I'm going to Open Sauce. So, buckle up, bucko. Montgomery, thank you for sending an Unk alert. Chat will keep an eye out for that Unk at your urging. And sending them a stay hydrated. Chat, make sure to drink something. Framed. Hi, what is the name of the song in the background? You said earlier, but I forgot. Intern Magpie. There is a different song playing now. The current song is called Harbor by Slowgramming, by friend of the channel Billith, SCP author and also experimental musician. What in the goddamn? Oh, Dr. Samarin, I have no idea. Life is chaos. Site 42 staff, by the way, there are currently 14 minutes left in stream. 14 minutes is a time check. Death is chaos too. It's pretty much all chaos at this point. Chaos all the way down. Is your pen an SCP? Intern Santiago, no, my pen is a perfectly normal, non-anomalous, non-human pen. Could anything in the world make you go down to SCP-3000 and retrieve some Y909? Journey of Games, why would I do that? We have other staff members to do that. I'm a site director. That is not my role in the Foundation. We have lower level staff for that. What do SCPs do all day in their cells? Well, intern fellows, that depends on the particular anomaly, and it depends on its level of good behavior and what privileges it has been granted. Certain anomalies get reading materials, video game consoles, obviously without any internet connections, with which to entertain themselves. But it depends on their needs, their behavior, and such sundry things. Do you think that the woke right could be an interesting SCP name? Intern Barker. I guess that would depend on what the subject of the story was about and if it fit the meme of the name there. It is a very memeable name. It comes up very often, but obviously you'd want to have a story that fits said title. Why can't you not just put a tracker to SCP-4666? Intern Hoo-Hoo, you go up to the tall, naked old man and stick a tracker on it. And try not to get killed. And also it can teleport away from you. Do your best. I'll look forward to seeing your results. Is there an SCP that creates its own internet? Actually, intern Dominique, I am seemingly remembering to myself SCP-4334, codename Nature is Cool, is a anomalous segment of Oakwood State Park, Connecticut, which exhibits multiple anomalous properties and phenomena. 75% of the trees exhibit wooden growths resembling Type B electrical outlets. These growths are functional and emit between 100 and 127 volts of electricity. 4334, in its entire 3.4 square kilometer area, emits Wi-Fi signals with no discernible source. The Wi-Fi network is named Nature is Cool and does not require a password. At night, music can be heard within SCP-4334 with no discernible source. The music is mostly songs that are popular at the time with a heavily amplified bass line. And fireflies can be found within SCP-4334 during the entirety of the year, despite typically requiring temperatures in excess of 15 degrees Celsius to become active. Whenever music is played within 4334, either by a human or through its previously stated property, the fireflies will form large clusters on tree branches and emit bioluminescence in synchronized manner in time with the beat of the music. Somehow, someone was trying to make it cool to go to the national park or the state park, and somehow they made it anomalous. So yes, SCP-4334 does make its own Wi-Fi. Falcon, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have made them a 5-star team. Congratulations, chat, on your 5-star status. Studio Spider, thank you for donating again to say. Would you rather hold a spider or SCP-729? One of them, I can say its name without nearly vomiting. One of them, I can't. I wonder which one I think is worse. Did you try to destroy SCP-035? Intern Hoo-Hoo, why would we do that? We can't study it if it's destroyed. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say. Do you fraternize with any friendly anomalies? 999 and the eyeball things count. Well, if you mean fraternize in a platonic manner, let's say, then I have been known to play some games with SCP-008-J from time to time. Despite Desk's protestations, Jeff is a righteous dude. And we can't contain it or him. I mean, read SCP-00-J's documentation. We don't even know if it is anomalous or not. We're just guessing. So, still a cool hang. What happened to the last person who gave SCP-999 sugar? Well, intern Allen, that is the basis of SCP-999's diet, is sugar and candies. That is not unusual. The last person who gave SCP-999 sugar probably fed them and then went along their day. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say. Do you watch Tyler Warwick? His reenactments of Twilight scenes on top of the HOA, 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 HOA vocals sends me to the afterlife. I am not familiar with this content creator. I've never heard of this. So no. Do you let 131 and 999 roam freely around the facility? Well, intern Chiller, I would assume that I believe the 131s are allowed to free roam, at least according to the documentation. Is 999 allowed free roam? I can't remember. When 999 is here, we try to keep it in its containment cell because of all the crimes that some of you staff members try to make it accomplices of. Yes, 999 is allowed to free roam, but we contain it here at Site-42 when it's present due to all of the crime you all encourage it to do. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say. How many Class Ds and or intruders have been executed for trying to get to Mallow? Well, I don't think you understand how the Mallow entities function. They stalk the individual person who downloaded the phone. Now, depending on the canon and universe and multiverse of your lore, will cause the results of that to vary. But there is no Mallow entity in a containment cell at the SCP Foundation. Unless you count the ones that are attached to the subjects who they are currently stalking. And then they're just ancillarily in containment because the subject is. But people would not be able to interact with someone else's Mallow unless they reach the Dr. Vera Lovelace level of manifesting, which is a rare phenomenon. Download the phone? I meant downloaded the phone app. What number is SCP Verity? Intern Campbell, Verity is not an SCP. While it is anomalous, it does not exist on the SCP database. It is from a different pataphysical narrative level or fandom. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say. Also, why not use the eyeball things at 173's containment all the time to reduce casualties? Because don't forget that 173's B-side anomaly is dispensing approximately 37.5 pounds of feces and blood every day that needs to be disposed of. And forcing the iPods to wade through that would be hygienically very bad. Very neglectful. Gross. So we're not going to do that to the little guys. Josie the half-cat is also allowed to free roam, but that's because she's a cat. Yes, that is true. The Josie entity is also allowed to wander. I know you probably get asked this all the time, but what is your favorite SCP? Intern Sharky, your favorite. My favorite SCPs are always announced at the end of stream. It's kind of a tradition around these parts. Now, very conveniently, you literally ask this question at the end of stream, which means I'm about to tell you. But of course, while I'm going to tell you my favorite SCPs, I'm not going to tell you the ones I wrote are my favorites. That would be Narcissism. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I wrote, as well as contributed voice lines and sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that people ask about all the time in chat, but then they are just not clever enough to find. It's so sad for them. But not for you, because you'll find those links, and when you do, you'll have also the options to become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat and donate to us one at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to help out Site42 to keep the lights on for myself and the Site42 staff, as well as help out with silly projects we're doing like this YouTube convention networking speed run this weekend. It's going to be busy, but I will still try to keep the stream streak alive, and I will try to get us some good gains from this convention. So we thank you for your generosity in helping us out with those. And of course, if you cannot donate because you're part of the Broke Gang, do not fret. We are an arts community. We understand starving artists, trust me. But you can still help us out by being a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, make memes, shitposts, edits, fan art, out-of-context compilations, and not just of me, but of our fellow SCP content creators, be it Desk and Dr. Sumerian here in the chat, be it the SCP Wiki and its authors and artists, be it the SCP filmmakers, game devs, animators, podcasters, merch makers, etc. You spreading engagement and love for the Site-42 and the greater SCP community helps us grow our audiences, find more people who can donate, and to make bigger and better projects with those resources in the future. So we thank you for your service, Mobile Task Force Psi-42 codename Signal Boosters. Now, without a further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one. It's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043, content warning last one. It's a rough read. So, Site-42 staff, this has been another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. And now enjoy the credit song at the behest of Philip November. We're doing memes. Driving in my car right after a breach. Hey, that dude looks like a type green. Aim won't stray. My ukulele is hanging out the window. Little did you know I'm the Gary Stew. I'm about to pound the Humes out of you. Spotting that guy with my weird third eye. Do you like my song? Come on! The credit song is a take on, I even forget who made that original song. I'm going to go to the Discord where I shared it with Desk so I can pick it up. The song is Asgore Runs Over Desk by Bubbles. Bubbles spelled with an 8 for some reason. That's the original song with my own original lyrics. The memes are strong today. Be safe, be well, Site-42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect. Zephram, thank you for sending in Argentina and some at the end of stream. Do what you will with that Argentina, I guess, chat. And Lugia sent you a sparkle, so clean up that glitter bomb. And now, catch you next time. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream.